Hello and welcome to another edition of the Sports Express show. In this segment, we're going to be focusing on the transfer window, the football transfer window. As we know, the transfer season is in full swing in football. Teams are making signings, reinforcements, readjustments. The name is Ian and Yuso alongside Sanele Melanie, of course.
How's it, guys?
We're going to start with the big one, the return of the king, if you'd like. Frank Lampard going back to Chelsea. The return of the club's record goal scorer after just 1 year in management, already getting the big job.
Okay.
Why are you making that face? Chelsea fans are all happy around the world.
Of course they'll be happy with that.
Why aren't you happy?
No, it's too early. It's just too...
I mean, you say it's too early.
You go from Derby
It's
and then you
Lampard.
go... No,
It's Lampard.
Listen.
Was it too early for Zidane?
No, I mean, it's Zidane.
It's not the same thing.
No!
It's Frank Lampard. It's Lampard.
Yeah, it's Frank Lampard.
Yeah.
It's Zidane. Yeah, come on. Look, I still feel it's too early. I think just 1 more year would have done him good. If it really was... I get it why he took it.
Yeah.
Even if I was in his position, I would have done exactly what he had done.
Yeah.
So it's nothing against him, but I just feel he's not... I gotta vote on it. It's a bit...
Yeah.
You know, just a...
Look,
you get what I'm trying to say?
I get what you're saying,
Yeah.
100%. I have mixed feelings about Lampard's appointments. I do share the same sentiments with you. I do think it's a bit early.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think it's all doom and gloom. I think with the type of person that Lampard is and the type of player he was for Chelsea, a person who knows Chelsea in and out, the culture of the team, the very fabric of the team, and the fact that he's a young manager and is going to come in with with a very young staff as well. And I think Roman Abramovich, for the first time in his tenure as Chelsea owner, is actually going to give the manager time to build a team because, guys, Chelsea are rebuilding. Of course, they lost players, lost Hazard, and they're banned for the next 2 transfer windows, so they can't bring in players. So we're going to foresee all the players, the academy players that they used to loaning out, coming back into the first team. So I think he's going to get time to build the team. He's going to be given time, just like Solskjaer is given time at United. I think it's going to happen. The same thing's going to happen with Lampard.
Look, I hope so.
Yeah.
Because this is Roman.
I mean, but why would you hire a young coach, inexperienced coach, and then fire him for not giving you immediate results? It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, but it's Roman Abramovich. Look at his track record. Look, I get it. But you look at his track record.
He should change for Lampard. Though.
He should. He absolutely should. And like you did touch on the two bans or transfer bans.
So you can't bring in players.
He can't bring in players. So he needs to steady the ship and make sure they move forward with the youngsters that they have. And they do have youngsters. They do have potent youngsters. So I'm happy in the sense that those youngsters will get an opportunity. We'll see fresh blood. Yeah. Hopefully we'll see fresh ideas. And we'll see where they go. As long as they're not above United at the end of the day, I'm happy.
First match as a manager, guess who he's playing?
Yeah, I know. I know.
He's travelling to Old Trafford in his very first game.
Yeah, well...
Manchester United.
Yeah, look, that would be an interesting one because I think...
A very good story.
Because I think both managers are under the same pressure in the sense that they... Okay, Solskjaer wants to rebuild with a young team and Lampard here has no choice but to do that because of the ban. So it'll be interesting how things pan out and we'll see how tactically astute they are. Because let's be honest, they're young. We'll see the very little experience that they've gained. We'll see how it will pan out. As long as it's not a draw, I'll be happy.
I'm very excited for the new season, man. I think it makes for great stories to come up.
No, it does.
Talking about still in the Premier League, we're going to go to Manchester City now, who are just getting better and better in terms of their recruits. We all know that they have aging players in their squad, so David Silva, Fernandinho, company, the captain. So they've brought in a very, very potent young Spanish midfielder, Rodri Fernandes. Wow. Just to put into perspective, this guy was literally the best midfielder in La Liga last season. Statistics are insane.
Out of the charts, huh?
Out of the charts, almost 2,000 passes. Talking about someone who made over 100 tackles throughout the season, goals, assists, from a holding midfield position. So a very, very good signing from City.
He sounds like a complete player.
Yeah.
He sounds like
dubbed the new Busquets by the Spanish
he's
people.
only 23.
Only 23 years old.
And City what I found about Pep in City, I think with his purchases, he's very smart. I'm not saying with Bayern or the previous teams he wasn't smart, but I feel, I don't know, like, I think with the transfer season upon him, he's bought smart in a smart manner, where it will enhance the whole team.
Pep is the kind of manager who buys for a reason. I'm not saying all the other managers don't buy for a reason, but you always see why he buys a player.
Exactly.
And you always see where the player fits in. And it's only a few who don't perform to the level that we all expect.
Yes,
but most of the guys who he brings in perform at the absolute top level.
Yeah, so it's really interesting how things will pan out. They're also vying for Maguire. After Man U put in a bid for 17 million and
rejected.
It was rejected.
Oh my God.
So I'm sure Maguire, I'm speaking on his behalf. Obviously, I don't know. I could be wrong, but obviously he's looking at the situation and be like, you know what? I do want to play Champions League. I do have aspirations of winning the league and so on and so forth, and other cups that are on the line. So I feel that he is going to go for City. And I wouldn't blame him.
Looking at the Maguire situation, though, Leicester do not want to sell Harry Maguire. They see him as the future of the club.
Who would?
And the only thing that will make them sell, and I've seen this from credible sources, the only thing that will make Leicester sell is if it's a world transfer for a defender. So more than 75 million, more than what Liverpool paid for Van Dijk. So anything less than 75, Leicester are not going to be selling. They rejected 70 million already from United, so that should tell you something.
No, it should. I don't know. Look, how long is he going to be there for? Like, I know nobody knows, but like, what is his thinking? Being the future of the club, okay, sure, that sounds great, but what is the club going to win? Let's be honest, when Leicester won the league, that was one in a million.
I think Leicester's aspirations would obviously be to move up the table. So to finish in the European places, you know, Europa League places, and obviously try to...
Yeah, but that means nothing if I can be in the Champions League this season.
Yeah. That's a different story.
Do you get what I'm saying?
It all goes down to the player's ambition as an individual, Harry Maguire, but the club doesn't want to sell him, and that's that.
Of course they don't want to sell him. I don't blame them. I just believe he should go.
Yeah. So
not to Man U, no offense, guys. Yes, we need him, but there's no Champions League. You gotta be fair. You gotta be reasonable in such situations. You gotta think about the ambitions of the player and what the club that wants him give him.
Yeah.
There's no point in saying I'm gonna sell this project to Harry Maguire that in 2 seasons will be in the Champions League, when you can be in the Champions League this season and possibly win the damn thing. So it's one of those things where he also could win the league as well, FA Cup, so on and so forth. So his opportunities go much higher if he goes to City to win all these coveted awards.
So Atletico Madrid lost a player in Rodri, but they gained a very, very potent and promising youngster for the future. João Felix, 130 million.
They broke the bank.
19-year-old.
They broke the bank. But now my question is, that's a lot of money, bro.
That is a lot of money.
And he's 19. So how's that price tag gonna play on him? He's a crazy talent and all those wonderful things, but we've all seen players who have been stunted by how much they cost.
Yes.
But the price tag. So, and he's 19. Like, how is this going to affect him? Is he going to live up to expectations? And let's say he doesn't. Then what do? Do you let him go? Because 130 bar is a bucket load of money. How long do you hold on for? How long do you pray until this light actually breaks through? It's those sort of things that I'm asking myself. Like, how, all those variables. How will it work out? Obviously, I want the light to flourish. I mean, 130 bar is
that's a lot of money.
A lot is an understatement.
He's the sixth most expensive transfer in history. Number 6. And he's only 19.
Just to put it into perspective.
Yeah, he's only 19.
Yeah.
But I do see positives in it. I don't think Atletico Madrid are a kind of team who would expect like immediate results from. I know they bought him for a lot of money, but he's still only 19. I think he'll develop well at a team like Atletico Madrid, provided that they build a team that is good around him. And yeah, I think he should develop well. I think he won't fire at the start, but I think he'll develop well and gradually he'll go up. And
it's one of those transfers for me where I hope he does fire from the start. Like, it's just one of those things, like it could be, I feel, on himself, not necessarily Atletico, but I feel that he might put pressure on himself.
Yes, to perform.
To perform. And that's when, as an athlete, where it's either do or die for yourself. It's like, and he's 19. Like, you cannot take away that fact. Maybe if he was 28, then that's something different, because he's had time to develop. He's had time for the ups and the many downs. He's had time to mature, right? But when you're 19, and yes, you've been playing well. I mean, you're a crazy talent. For goodness sake, no team will shove out 100+ million if you want that. You know. So I just hope for his sake that he does hit the ground running. That he honestly hits the ground running, and he's just.
I hope for his sake he doesn't go in with that mentality of hitting the ground running, because it's gonna, as you say, it's gonna put too much pressure on himself.
Yeah.
So he should just stick to his game and play his game and play as a 19-year-old and develop. He's still developing. He's only 19 years old.
He's only 19.
So allow him the breathing space to develop as a player, and he'll most definitely reach his potential.
Look, we'll just stay tuned on the screens and see how he goes, because like we're stating, 130 million is not small change, guys.
Yeah, of course. And guess who made a transfer finally? Tottenham Hotspur. When last did we hear a transfer from Spurs? They've made 2 signings, of course, but the big one is the French midfielder Ndombele, who's coming in to replace Dembele. Ndombele, a very, very skillful, very hard-working. He's a bit like Kante, but a little bit more skillful than Kante. Yeah. So he's a cleaner. Yeah. He can drive forward. He can tackle. You know, he's a
good
very.
Passing as well.
The only thing you can fault him on is his finishing, because it's not very good. Yeah. But a very good signing from Tottenham. I think it's their record signing as well, around 60 million.
But then who else? You know, with Tottenham, yes, they bought a youngster, then 60 seconds later, they put him back on loan from the team they bought him from. Yeah. I get that. But who else?
Who else do you think Tottenham should buy?
I have no clue. Like, Tottenham is one of those teams, I don't know how to...
Tottenham looks fine to me when you look at the squad, but they're also not fine.
They're definitely not fine. Like, and it's the same sentiments. Like, they look fine, but they're not fine.
They're not fine, yeah.
So it's one of those things where they need players. At least if they could put in 2 or 3 additional players to what they have. Vela, the light, has gone back on loan, so... It's not like they're going to have 5, they're going to have 4, and then they blood them into the system. I think there'll be hundreds, and they possibly might lose Alderweireld, if I heard correctly, going to, I think, China, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken, they correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But they're losing a mature, strong defender.
Yeah.
And we all know nowadays that those are hard to come by. Defenders, quality defenders are hard to come by. So it's just, for me, Tottenham, it's like, they frustrate me, bro. Like, they really frustrate me in the sense that they need players. They really need players. I'm not talking about blooding young people. That's always been their ethos. It's always been Pochettino's ethos. It's good, it's great, may it long continue, but they need proper signings.
I think Tottenham has good players, a lot of good players. And the problem is they're just that. They're just good. They're not great players. So there's the good line, and they're just not hitting that.
Yeah, they're just not smashing.
They're just not smashing that great line.
They're just always tipping, and we need one of those where they're not doing that.
So they need to get trademark players.
So that's what they need to do, and we know that. Okay, look, I'm saying it now. They're not going to win the league next season. Yeah, they're just not. But we need them to be competitive. Because let's be honest, the way City are going, the way Liverpool are going, it's just a 2-horse race. And in as much as it's great for City fans and great for Liverpool fans, the rest of us...
It's not great for the league.
And it's not great for neutrals as well. We want to see every single team stepping up. And unfortunately, if City step up, Liverpool step up, that's an even bigger gap between 1 and 2 all the way down to 20. So everybody needs to step up. Tottenham needs to. They need to step up, guys.
Hopefully we'll see more transfers from Pochettino coming through.
No, it's not him though. It's Daniel Levy. It's not him. And the thing is, we can't speak on his behalf. We only see what we perceive. Do you understand? We don't know what's going on in the boardroom. Maybe he's stressed, bro. Maybe after the stadium build, he's like, I'm cash strapped. What do you want me to do? I don't know. We don't know. We only can speculate. We only can speak on what we perceive to see. So he needs to deliver. He just needs to deliver.
Yes. Before we wrap it up, I want us to talk about one more transfer. That's still a possibility, or I heard there's still negotiations going on between Bruno Fernandes and Manchester United. Obviously, the Portuguese goal-scoring attacking midfielder has been linked with United, and there's been talk that his agents and representatives have met with United, and there are talks going on somewhere there. What do you think about Bruno Fernandes, brother?
Look, it's exciting.
He has good numbers.
Yeah,
very good numbers.
He does have good numbers.
And remember which team he comes from? Sporting Lisbon.
Yeah, Sporting Lisbon.
And who has come from Sporting Lisbon before to Manchester United?
The king.
Ronaldo and Nani. So it's
the king and the prince.
Basically. Yeah. So Bruno Fernandes is a very, very good attacking midfielder. Scores tons of goals.
Yeah.
I think he averages a goal or an assist per game.
Yeah.
So that's pretty insane.
It is insane. Hopefully it goes through. Yes, I did read a report in one of these publications that said his representatives have gone to United, tried to seal the deal. I don't know what has happened off that, but it was looking positive as if it was going to actually happen. And I hope it happens. We need young fresh blood to carry on with the vision that Solskjaer has.
Yes.
So I'm pleased with that, but I have this niggling thing within me as a United fan. Yes, we're blooding in these players. Now, who are we going to get rid of? Who are we going to let go? It's Pogba, because Pogba is still there. He needs to go.
Well, Herrera left already, so that's
that
one. So that's one. He's already at PSG now. That's
like Pogba should have been the one to PSG. Alexis Sanchez, he should be gone.
He's still there. Why is he still there?
He's still there. So yes, we're bringing them in, but we need now to release these guys to also bring up the funds so we can balance the books and all those things and pay wages to these guys that are coming in to leave the club in a financial healthy state. Because if we bring in these youngsters, which is great, top stuff, Pogba is still there. Alexis Sanchez is still there. Lukaku's still there. And there have been rumblings that he'll go to Inter, and it's been edging closer and closer, but it's not happening. So I'm worried, bro. I'm worried. At least if you said at least 2 out of these 3 names have been gone, I'm like, thank you.
So Fernandes' release clause is 31 million, but there's talk of United actually paying more, or Sporting Lisbon asking for more. So probably around 50. Yeah. So I don't think money is a problem, though it's Manchester United. So it's just, I think it's a matter of time before they get his signature, and I think it will happen. I think the deal will come through.
Yeah.
Hopefully it does.
I know you're a very stressed man.
I'm very stressed.
But we're going to be wrapping it up since we don't have any stress.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's it for the transfer talk, guys. Mr. Milande.
No, that's about it, guys. Thank you.
We have a month left, more than a month left in the transfer window. And of course, there's a lot. There's still a lot that's going to happen.
There's still a lot to happen. There's still a lot to watch out for.
Goes down to the wire, yes.
Yeah, so things are still going to be hectic. We're still going to be reporting on transfers. So just stay tuned. Comment in the comment section, like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys next time.